Who the fuck are you?
I'm Andy Balcon. Who the fuck are you?
Dave Crow. Do you have any anxiety, unsurety, tension or fear that if you don't succeed in Heymoonshaker that your dad will think that you're a failure? Is there any of that still?
I don't know how you want me to elaborate on that question.
Well, if you don't succeed in this shaker, that he'll be, disappointed in any way, because, you've continuously said, this is what I want, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to do things. He hasn't backed you up in your spiritual understanding at all, really, until the last 12 months. And there was always this feeling that you needed to impress him or show him that it was actually possible. But I feel over the last 12 months that we've kind of built something together where it's only me and you that give a shit whether we make it or not. And parents are dissipating in their importance of whether we succeed or not. So I just wanted to know whether honestly there was still some fear that you need to impress him. You need to show him you can do it.
I'd say no, but obviously there's an underlying emotional attachment to that, which is I think definitely influential in the way that it shapes your intentions within what it is you're doing, the same way that anything seems to shape the way you
I would say
go about things.
I see you proper beating around whatever bush I put in front of you. Answer the fucking question.
I think that was pretty...
No, it wasn't. You gave it a universal answer instead of a direct answer about the way you feel about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, but universal answers are universal answers. You can even bring it down to a yes or a no.
I know, but then that would be to honestly answer something. You need... Well, that was my answer.
Do you feel you have to impress your dad?
I feel as though there is a underlying pressure from my father, which is definitely noticeable within the way I go. You have a brother and a sister, you have an older brother and a younger sister. How do you feel your relationship is different, or is your relationship different with your parents than what the relationship your parents have with, say, your sister and your brother? And how do you feel about your relationship with your brother and sister?
My relationship differs to the relationship my mum has with my brother and sister on the level that my mum and dad see them a lot more, way more often, so they probably have a more day-to-day relationship, father-son, father-daughter, mother-son, mother-daughter thing. Which means that when I do go back, as rare as it is that I go back, I get spoilt, or the attention is given to me on a maximum, which puts quite a lot of pressure on how much time I actually spend in the house or with my mum or with my dad, which also, I don't know, it's quite hard sometimes when I'm bad with contact, or I just show up, or I'm 2 days late or something like that. It's this mad pressure of still trying to live my lifestyle but pleasing the people that love me, but not having enough power or time to, in my eyes, to make them feel satisfied. My whole family do the best for me that they can. I do the best for them that I can in my life. I just question whether it's good enough.
Sex.
Yes.
Are you fulfilled with your current sexual escapades?
Sexually, I'm very satisfied because I have a lot of sex with a lot of people. So on the athletic, yeah, and like fucking Usain Bolt getting rid of whatever juices I need to get rid of so I can focus on the rest of my life that isn't fucking depicted by my cock. I would say I'm really satisfied. Love, however, I would say I'm not satisfied, and what scares me the most is that I fear that I won't be satisfied. Seems to be this like fucking... We never stay anywhere for more than a fucking week. Within that week I fall in love with whoever I'm with at that point because that's what I need. So I like give myself up to them, which makes them give themselves up to me for those 5 days, which feels like a year. And then at that 5 days, like, see you later, darling. And to be honest, I'm happy to fucking go because I don't want to be in a relationship. But that's the catch-22, is I don't want to be in a relationship, but I want love. So the only person I can get that like unconditional love from is you. You're my unconditional love. How often do you have sex?
Weekly. I don't know, what do you put in the between?
Well, just describe like in the last 2 months how much sex you had.
Very old bite. I'd say. Yeah.
Have you ever had sex with more than 5 people in 1 week?
That's a good question.
Probably.
Not yet, I don't think.
Are you, do you think about other women that you've had sex with while you're having sex with women?
Yes.
Do you do that because the sex that you're having at that time isn't good enough? So you remember a time that's better?
Probably.
Do you find that helps?
No, I find it quite distracting and quite... You find yourself in these situations having these hollow fucks where you just fucking because your tail and the way that your mind has been trained by the label you tag yourself when you play music, which is sex, drugs and rock and roll. Sometimes you find yourself in a situation with someone that you're not actually emotionally attached to, you're just doing it because it's a psychological thing of just fucking, and more often than not you find yourself hollow. Why are you taking, if you were satisfied on the streets, why do you want to take it to a stage, and what do you want to be remembered from your music? Like what?
Okay.
Yeah.
I play music because it's what I'm best at. And it's what I'm best at because when I started I enjoyed all aspects of it, the training and the performing and the jamming. Whereas with other performance methods, acting, singing, dancing, it's not the same. I make fucking good music with fucking good musicians, and the more I play, the better I get, the better people I play with. The better I get, the better you get. The better you get, the better I get. The rock and roll, yeah, it's highly satisfying. It's the most satisfying part of my life.
More interesting as a musician is the collaboration aspect, and I feel that the most growth comes from our music when we're actually with other people and then actually meet people who are like-minded enough to join our relationship on stage and allow us to explore new avenues of the fucking slippery serpent in the sky when we're playing. So, why did you dump your girlfriend to fucking go on tour with me?
There were a lot of issues between me and my ex-girlfriend that had gone on for many years. I couldn't give her what she really wanted. She wanted a family, I couldn't give her a family. I wasn't being fulfilled even like 60% at that time by street performing and busking and writing my own beats. I was losing direction, I was losing everything. There was something when I first met you 5 years earlier, there was something about you, your personality, which meant that I could spend time with you for long periods of time. It meant that I could create live music with you on stage because you had the balls. And at the point that we played a few gigs in France and I was still with my girl, you made me, I believed you. I believed you. You believed I'd do it, which made me believe you'd do it. You looked at me, you look at me on stage like I'm indestructible. That's how you look at me on stage. You make me feel indestructible. And at that point, we're together the whole way. You made me believe that I could do it. If I had forgotten, you made me believe.
I saw you more than